There it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's another exciting edition of 3D Politics right here live with you on Facebook. Tommy McKay, your host with 3D Politics, and I've got David Van and David Oldham with me. Hey, where's Broso tonight?
Oh, he's on assignment, man. He's over changing the world one state capital at a time.
Nice.
He's in Oklahoma City. Fundraiser tonight for
Oklahomans for parental rights, health and parental rights.
There we go.
Nice.
Raising money for good candidates.
Yeah, I heard from Liza earlier. She said they had a great turnout, and so far they've raised 5 figures and want to do it 5 times that much before Election Day.
Tell them who Liza is.
Liza Greevy is the president, chairman, I don't know what her title actually
Good question.
of Oklahomans for Health and Parental Rights.
Okay, nice.
And so she's the state coordinator.
Very
The
good.
one thing that New Jersey didn't have.
Oh,
Yeah, and Tom, this is another one to add to our list. I know you've got next month, you're going to be talking about some special interviews you're setting
Coming up, right?
Liza's somebody we're going to have to get
good
in
idea.
that list with you.
Good idea.
So, yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
We got an exciting story tonight. A lot of stories. We're going to talk a little bit about impeachment. G.T. Bynum did pick a police chief. Did not do a national search. We've got a story from KTUL, Teachers for Sanders. That's the one I'm all lit up about. There's a story out of Tulsa, also a parental rights story. It's a tragedy that David Oldham is going to tell us about. Van's going to bring us some court updates on Dean Davis and Keith Davis.
That's right. And the impeachment trial's going on. We're still waiting for the smoking gun to enter the room. We'll let you know.
There you go.
We're keeping an eye on it. All right.
Well, so the first thing I want to get into is this story out of Tulsa. Is it Haley Hewley? Hugely. Dozens of teachers across Oklahoma spent their Sunday canvassing in different neighborhoods trying to get support for Bernie Sanders. Now, one of the things that they interviewed a gal named Kate Smith, and she says to have a president that supports those rights, that is, she thinks that education is a right.
Oh.
And I guess she's just going to take that from people who provide it. But she wants a president that would support education as a right because it would be support from top down. Now, that is
Wow.
that is
Talk about somebody who just demands dictatorship.
well, not only that, but it's a literal. You know how I am with semantics. It's literally a misuse of the word support. I asked my I asked my 11-year-old, have you ever built a card house or played Jenga? Yeah. Have you ever started from the top? And the answer was no. And the reason she gave me was because it won't support anything. You have to support. Support is a word that literally means underneath, from below.
Right.
It's like wet ocean, etc. So I think it's interesting. And now I did Twitter over there to the gal that wrote this story, Haley Hewley, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, right, yeah.
And I did not get an answer, but I told her I wanted to.
Oh, like you expect one.
She's a cute girl. I don't expect her to call me back. But no, she said dozens of teachers, which I think that would be at least 24 by my math.
But it would have to
And
be if
so
she's correct.
I actually was asking her, how does she substantiate her number? Where did she make that estimate from?
Okay.
I mean, how did you get? I basically I don't believe it. I don't believe 24 teachers were walking around on a Sunday in Oklahoma pushing Bernie Sanders. I just don't think there's 24 teachers doing that.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying,
is she talking statewide or in a particular spot?
Across Oklahoma. I want to know,
across Oklahoma.
are there 24 teachers, and how does she get the numbers? Dozens is a pretty vague number. But the bigger issue here is that she likes Bernie Sanders because he wrote an op-ed in the Oklahoma supporting and praising the teachers that walked out in protest. A year and a half ago.
Hewley, is this an opinion piece?
No. She's just reporting on this teacher who's walking around supporting Sanders because she thinks that she wants support from the top, which is demands, not support.
Gotcha.
Okay, but into the deeper issues of the story. Here is a Oklahoma public school teacher. Right. She likes the idea that public school teachers protest and walk out.
Right.
She wants a president that will support other teachers that also want to walk out on the parents and the students. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a bad example for the students, for the teachers. She's a bad example of a teacher walking around suggesting that we want to promote more walkouts and more protests.
Well, understand, this doesn't happen in a free market based schooling system.
Yeah, yeah.
Because remember, as I have said innumerable times, tax funded schooling is illegal.
It's not
And
a right. It can't be a right.
Well, it can't be a right because it has to enslave somebody. It violates the 13th Amendment to do that. It is confiscatory, or it confiscates your property, which violates the Fifth Amendment.
Well, anytime you declare something a right that the government has to provide for, then the government has to have the power in order to vest it in it. And I like what Jefferson said, that the legitimate powers of government extend to such acts only as are injurious to others. So you
Correct.
have a right not to be injured by others.
Correct.
You don't have a right to be enslaving somebody to educate
Well,
you.
that kind of injures the enslaved one, doesn't it?
It does.
And that means that the one doing the enslaving puts themselves superior, says, no, I'm created superior to you, not that we're all created
Yes,
equal.
bake me a gay wedding cake is essentially what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or, whatever the situation may be.
Yeah.
So
the story says that in the last week, more than 100 educators across the state have pledged their support for Sanders.
Well, Sanders has 100 supporters?
100.
Wow!
Maybe if he got them all together in one place at one time.